Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we will be talking about the show Marvel Zombies. Fun fact: the comic Marvel Zombies was written by Robert Kirkman, who was also the co-creator of The Walking Dead and Invincible. The show premiered in 2025 and stars Iman Vellani, Todd Williams, and David Harbour, and was created by Bryan and Zeb Wells. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Marvel Zombies sees the world overrun by zombies, and the remaining heroes are scrambling to try to find a cure. The Queen of the Dead is building an army to get the power of the Infinity Stones, and it's up to the remaining heroes to stop her. Marvel Zombies is a zombie superhero show. It has similar vibes to The Walking Dead, What If, or Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. I vaguely remember the Marvel Zombies episode of What If, and the one thing that really stood out to me is that this is a zombie apocalypse, but everyone keeps their powers and skills, which makes the situation much worse. I was interested to not only see what the plot of this story would be, but also which heroes or villains would be zombies and who would not. This show gives us a continuation of the zombie episode from What If and mixes in a new zombie story. It was interesting to see so many characters interact with each other in this alternate world and also see how bad it is. I think you could go into this show not having seen the What If episode and still know what was going on and be able to keep up. I'm glad that they continued stories from What If because some of the scenarios they showed on that show were interesting and I wanted to know more. I love seeing so many superheroes and villains and zombies or people trying to survive the apocalypse. I will say once it solidified that Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, is the Queen of the Dead raising an army, I was like, well, there's no way they're going to win this one. I love how they keep their abilities when turned, which ups the intensity because the zombies are not easy to kill. Hawkeye is still great at killing with a bow and arrow. Okoye is great at fighting with a spear and being a general. Thanos is still, going after the Infinity Stones and trying to complete the gauntlet. Thor, as the zombie god of thunder, is crazy, and don't even get me started on Namor. The heroes are a ragtag team, including Black Widow and her family, Miss Marvel, Ironheart, Kate Bishop, Spider Man, Ant Man, Shang-Chi, and Blade, who are all trying to survive. Some character stories seem to pick up from what we know about them in the MCU, like Kate's, Miss Marvel's, and Ironheart's, but others are different, like Shang-Chi's dad saving him and dying in SF. I love the difference in the stories to switch things up and really show how the zombie attack didn't happen in the MCU we know. It was a different universe, and I just loved how they showed this big hole in the mountains in this one scene, and everyone is confused about like how they got there. And come to find out, it's because of a zombie Captain of Marvel fighting Icarus, and I just love how they showed what it would look like for two very powerful people who were zombies basically destroying everything in their path while trying to fight each other. I love this idea of zombie superheroes, and it just really adds another layer to how scary and unsettling zombies can be. Besides the characters, the show also brings up familiar locations, even though they may look a little different. We see the raft being used as a transportation device, San Francisco overrun, and Pym Labs accidentally creating large zombies, the Nova Corps ships in space making their little blockade, which we've seen before, and the Sanctum Sanctorum being kind of like a safe haven for those who are not infected. I love how they bring back some familiar places, but use them differently to address the situation at hand. I haven't read the comics, but I do wonder how they will come back from the ending of this season. The heroes lose to Wanda, which, no shocker there, but I'm wondering how it's possible for them to get out of her mind games and win again. I love how she used her powers to be able to kind of be a human again, but also a zombie as well. She controls so many, which is scary. Like when she controlled Namor, I thought that they were done for until Kamala killed him from the inside, which was smart because she knew he would try and bite her. I do wonder if she could also reverse everything with all the power she has, or is it too late for everyone else? I love how she tricked the Asgardians, stayed far enough from most battles, but also close enough, and never really showed any weakness. This version of Wanda was a great villain. She was smart, strong, deadly, and just a little crazy. The season is only 4 episodes, which is kind of annoying because it ends on a cliffhanger. Like, I get having shorter seasons sometimes, but more for miniseries. This season ended as if it were coming back for season 2, and the episodes could have just been expanded to 8 and we would have gotten the full story. It just doesn't make sense to have such a small season, and if they timed it out and did like a weekly episode release, it could have just led straight into Halloween. The animation was cool, and I loved seeing how they animated the character and the fights. The fight between Namor and everyone was scary and intense, and the fight between Blade and Ghost was as well. That's one place I feel animation excels sometimes. They are able to produce these crazy fights that will leave you on the edge of your seat with how intricate the choreography is. My favorite part of this show was the fight between Ghost and Blade. We haven't seen Blade in the MCU, but he had a big role in this show and he didn't disappoint. Ghost killed all the Black Widows, and she comes to kill the rest of the group. But Blade is a vampire, so everything is heightened, but he's also currently the avatar of Khonshu, so it's just double power, and he fights with so much speed and precision. In the scene, I was nervous because Ghost was ripping those widows apart, but in the end, she was no match for Blade, who sliced and diced her up. It was such a cool way to show Blade's fighting style and how he is a force to be reckoned with. Marvel Zombies was a fun show that explores a side of the MCU that isn't as funny and leaves the heroes on edge. While there should have been more episodes, it's a fun show that has horror elements, but I wouldn't say that it's too scary. I hope to see more about this show and what the heroes will do next in order to stop Wanda. Thank you for watching my video. I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. If you have not subscribed, please do so and keep up to date with more of my videos. But besides that, everyone stay safe, have fun, and goodbye.